Hi.
I'm so
How?
thrilled. This is my first.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're just gonna be chatting. I
Okay.
remember I went to your you have a wonderful place. I remember I went there like last year or 2 years ago.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I've moved. In fact, I've moved back into the house that I was born in. I've moved back in with my parents. So it
Yes,
was
yes.
really time for me because, I can spend more time with my parents and take care of them.
That's
And
nice.
it's actually been I gotta say there are a lot of things about this current situation that have been super highs, and that includes being home with my parents. In fact, I've introduced new recipes, K drama, and all these things.
Of
I wouldn't
course,
have,
of course.
yeah, I wouldn't have been able to have fun time with my mom
Right, right,
if not
right.
for the fact that now we're at home all the time.
Right, right,
Uh,
right, right, right.
but at the same time, a lot of friends that I've not been in touch with for a long time have
Mm,
reached out, and we're doing Zoom calls, even
of
people
course.
from overseas, and even with work, it's been surprisingly, very very efficient. Everybody's really adapted to working
Right.
remotely well. I'm the only dinosaur, so I'm like, not very impressed.
Well,
Just
well,
now.
the thing is that if this goes well, you might be doing more and more IG Live with a lot of like your friends then.
Fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You were telling me a little bit like how you have um, like a regime before you start working now with the whole pandemic situation. Can you tell
Yeah,
us
yeah.
about it?
Well, when everything kind of started, I didn't want working from home to become a bit of a blur. So
Mm,
I started making a routine, and almost just like I would when I go to work. I have my morning walks. So yes,
mm,
I'm out with my mask or when I'm jogging because it's a nice break between being in bed at home, and then
mm.
there's a bit of a ritual to getting to work. And then I always still kind of dress up because I've got lots of calls. And I think there's a mental preparation or separation rather when you get ready to be in work mode versus, just be in my weekend clothes all the time. And I've actually noticed that because when I do dress up and make an effort and switch myself into work mode, even though I'm in the same place, versus I have had days where I've stayed in my weekend or my lounge gear, and it's psychologically not the same. So I'm definitely more revved up.
Right, right, right. I want to go back to how it all started because I've met you like years ago when you just started the brand. But
Mhm.
can you let everybody here can you tell the story how you started with the Carrie K brand?
So I'd say that Carrie K is my second life. I think we live in an age where we can live many, many lives. And in my last life, I used to run an advertising agency. So in 2008, I was traveling and I was in Italy. I was introduced to a silversmith who taught me how to make my first ring.
Mm,
And it was one of those, I think, serendipitous, life changing moments when I thought, I would be in marketing and advertising, and that was my life. And then this whole experience when I learned to create my first ring, and I can even remember that moment. It was a little bit like a Hollywood movie because I'd spent a month there, and I remember I was learning how to make silver jewelry. So I was at the last
right,
bit, kind of polishing. And when you make jewelry, most of the time it's gray and it's not that attractive until you
right.
start doing the polish and then you set it.
Yeah, yeah,
So at that point, when I was just doing the polishing, it had just stopped raining, and I was in this tiny little workshop. You can
right,
imagine in Florence, Italy, there all the old tools still kind of strewn around.
right,
It's a tiny little window, and there was light just streaming through because the rain
right,
had just
right,
stopped.
right.
And
Yeah,
I looked up, and then I looked down at my ring, and it was suddenly like beautiful and polished.
right,
And I just had this golf ball in my throat, and I just knew that that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a silversmith and jewelry designer. So,
right.
like, right from that moment, I had this mental switch, and I started introducing myself as a silversmith and jewelry designer after having only made one piece of jewelry.
Right, right,
But
right.
that was to me the beginning of Carrie K.
But I remember not in this current house, when the previous ones when I visited you, you had like a small workshop and you were very hands-on because that's
Yes.
how you knew, that's how you learn. you
Yeah.
actually know how to learn how to make the jewelry, the pieces.
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference because my journey with the jewelry started from the side of the craftsman and
Yeah,
craftsmanship.
yeah.
So knowing how things are made and what you can do with it, and it's a
Mm,
very, wonderful tactile kind of craft. So
right,
I really very, very focused on craft, but now we even go into custom cutting our gems. So learning how all of it is engineered, how it's made, and how it's crafted is very, very important. And then at the
right.
same time, because of my background in advertising,
Yeah,
that's where the storytelling, came in,
yeah.
and started out as a marriage of very, I guess, uh, moral of the stories that will be incorporated into the pieces,
Right.
married with craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And now my husband works with me on the business as well. So
Right.
his name is Inspector Gadget because he's really good with like of stuff. So sometimes I might, just have a harebrained idea and say, oh, what if we can make pearls like, be completely worn 100 different ways? Can that be done?
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he'll,
yeah.
okay, let me think about it. And then he'll like go off and then, ponder,
Right.
ponder. So he would come up with a lot of the engineering ideas.
Right.
And that's been really, really good because it's kind of like, the marriage of two different personalities and two different strengths.
Right, right, right. So how long now Carrie K the brand has been around?
Well, last year we celebrated our 10th anniversary.
Oh
So
wow.
11 years ago when I was in Florence, Italy. And it feels like, a lifetime ago. So many things
Right.
that, we've created and learned and so many things that have happened.
I
But
I I I must have known you when you just I mean remember you just got back from Florence. The brand just started. So how
mhm.
has it changed since then?
Well, I think the major shift has been the first when for me. I think the first 5 to 7 years was about discovering our point of view and also learning how we were going to be different in terms
Yeah.
of our aesthetics.
Yeah.
So, although we're still the same, I mean, our core is about storytelling. The
Mm,
stories that we tell are very different now. I
yeah.
think it's also because a lot of my clients have become really good friends.
Of course.
So they've also shared what has been very connected with them the most. So a
Yeah.
lot of times, stories about culture or family or
Yeah.
friendships, all these things are quite universally appealing.
Mm,
Those are something that people kind of resonate with.
mm.
But more importantly, we connect it through Singapore stories.
Right.
So the story of family and
Mm,
having generations live harmoniously under one roof. We took
yeah.
the inspiration from the Peranakan tile.
Right, right,
Um,
right. It's
Making
technically your own life story, you know?
yes, yes, yes.
Living under the
Well,
same roof.
it is, but it kind of came from my experience with my grandma
Mm,
always telling me,
yeah.
okay, grandmas they always tell you a story, but there's
Mm,
always a moral of the story.
mm,
So it's like
mm.
how to be a good person and
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
give back to the
yeah,
community
yeah,
without telling you straight in your face, like,
yeah,
and this is the moral of the story. So
yeah.
I thought, if I had, I was so fortunate to have all these wonderful stories that my grandma would share with me.
Right.
Who is going to pass on those stories?
Yeah,
And one thought I had was actually jewelry is a very good medium for passing on stories.
yeah.
Because the number of times people have stopped me and said, "Hey, that's really, really cool." Like, or if they
Mm,
see, what I'm wearing, and then I'll just tell them, "Oh, well, this is inspired by, this story of our
mm,
heritage." And it
yeah,
can, like, for example, this is
yeah.
the star motif. It celebrates the
So,
kampong spirit. So
right,
imagine,
right. Yes,
and
yes.
we designed it with this trillion-shaped ring.
Right, right, right. So it's like you can take it out basically.
Yeah. So there's a story that embedded in it, but it's
Mm,
also engineered for versatility. So this was the other thing that my clients told us,
yeah,
that they really appreciate the fact that a lot of our pieces are versatile, they're stackable.
yeah.
You can wear it very simple on some days. You can also stack it up to make it a little bit more statement on other days.
Right,
So
right, right.
we incorporated that. So in probably 2018, that was
Mm,
when that whole Carrie K story plus the
mm,
engineering plus the aesthetics kind of came
mm,
together. So
yeah.
I think that's probably when we kind of grew up. I
Right, right,
think
right, right,
going
right.
from,
Right, right. like mature, like as a
Yes,
brand.
mature.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right. No, but I always remember even back then, like every single pieces that you created always come with a certain story or appeal. But I guess in a lot of senses, when it comes to jewelry, it's very personal, no? Like
Yes.
in the way that it's being designed or intended or even bought. Like, I mean, I still remember the story that my grandma was telling me about her rings, because that was I mean, like this is back in the 80s, like when it might have been the trend, like those grape kind of like a
Yeah.
design or something. Yeah. So in like yellow gold. So that's my like that's how I know how I learned about yellow gold, because my grandma used to wear lots and lots of yellow gold, you know.
Mm.
So,
Well, that's the
but
other thing,
mm,
because we used to probably spend more time with grandma or parents, and we would go with them to the jewelers,
yeah,
and then you would learn either the story or the inspiration behind the piece, or learn
right,
how it's made because you would talk to the goldsmith or the
right,
craftsman.
right.
And you sit there with a cup of tea for like
Mm,
3 hours, and then
mm,
they'll tell you about the different gems.
yeah,
How do you select what type of gem?
yeah,
So that way, it's a fun, interesting discovery, day out.
right.
So what we've now started to do with our clients is, because it's not just about what you buy, and it's not just a pretty thing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of depth behind the story, but also we spend a lot of time to teach and share with our clients about the gems, how they're
yeah,
made, because we custom cut it, why is it this shape. So even down to the shape of the gems, we
yeah.
research. We also look for gems and have the different shapes to symbolize different things.
Right, right,
So
right,
each collection will have a story, and each collection will have a specific gem that is of a shape that fits that story.
right.
So that way, when you're wearing or gifting it, there's
Yeah,
also a meaning that you're attaching to it.
right, right. But this happened before CB, when you can actually meet your customers in person. So how is
Yes.
it changing now?
Well,
Are you doing it via Zoom or?
yes. Oh my goodness. I have never like watched so many YouTube videos on how to create like digital content, right? So I think one of the things that has definitely been so apparent in the last 6 weeks is
Yeah,
um, the brands that are really resonating are the ones that have really good digital content. So for us, we're producing more digital content. It's all a bit of a still learning for us, but it's
mm,
been great because even though they might be very casual videos, and it might just be me talking about, hey, so today I'm just styling my piece like this, and
mm,
most people are literally, they dress top half for video calls, so they're
yeah.
always asking for tips on, okay, how do I style myself so that the top half looks
Looks.
good for dating or meetings.
I
um,
know. It's like, okay, so what can you see now?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
much. Yeah,
Yeah, and how do you like change it out and
yeah,
make it more interesting?
yeah.
So we've been doing videos to give people tips on that as well.
Right,
Um,
right.
and we also have been even hosting our consultations and bespoke meetings via
Mm,
Zoom.
mm.
So recently we were talking to a client, one who's based in LA, and his girlfriend is living in Singapore. So we had a four-way call
Oh
with
my
another
God.
client in LA and one in
Yeah,
Singapore. And yeah,
yeah,
so we were sharing, the designs,
yeah,
and it was fantastic. So I think the great thing about what's been happening is that
yeah,
it's forced us down a path
yeah,
where I wouldn't probably have explored as hard if not for
yeah.
the fact I have no choice now.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I think if it's one thing, we are very adaptable beings. So
yeah,
we
yeah,
just try. If it works, great. If
yeah.
not, we try something else.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I mean, I was talking to a photographer the other day, and this current situation, if anything, it pushes us as creative being to be a lot more creative, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we've become a lot more aware of our surroundings and in
Yeah.
touch with our feelings, and how can we pour that into a creation, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
in my line of work, it would have been content that pertains to photos or videos. In yours would be like jewelry, but like it goes to like any other line of work. I mean, some people now picking up baking, for example.
Oh yes.
Some
Oh, I
some
think
people,
everybody's baking. We're out of
I
flour.
know. Yeah, I was I was looking for cream cheese for like a week. I had to wait for like a week.
Oh my
So, but finally we got them. But but yeah, it's really it's a really interesting time, you know, to be creative right now. And I mean, obviously, we're talking about like digital content now. I see you have like really interesting necklace there. Is that's from your pearl collection, isn't it?
Yes. So this is the story I was sharing with you when I
Yeah,
was saying how do you make, you know, a very simple string of pearls,
yeah.
a little bit more versatile. So
Mm,
we've got, I don't know if you can see, but we've got these little catches
right.
and accessories that can be detached, and it's very simple. All you do is, you know, you twist and then it
Yeah,
changes out.
yeah.
So that way I can change out the look of my piece, like
Right.
literally in 1 second, that if I wanted to work a shorter neckline, then
Right.
this is all I need to do.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's
So we
styling.
literally
Yeah.
go from, you know, conference call look to cocktail.
Right, right, right. So hang on. Then the pearl and the gold part is also detachable.
Yeah, they're all detachable.
So you
So
can
on
wear separately.
Yeah, so on days that maybe I
Cute.
don't want to wear
Mm.
pearls,
Yeah.
then I just take this apart
Mm.
and I can like I have this one with my safety pin pendant. So
I
even the
love that. That's cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in fact the
Is that
safety
with
pins,
diamonds?
it's okay. So this is quite interesting. I've had a lot of requests for alternatives to diamonds. So
Mm.
when I'm a bit of a research geek, so when we're
Mm.
researching like alternatives, there's I don't know if you can see the sparkle. It's very
Yeah,
sparkly when
yeah.
you get it.
Mm.
Um, so there's a gem called moissanite, and moissanites
Mm.
originate from meteorites, and
Right.
almost as hard as diamonds,
Mm.
and it's just as sparkly.
You talk,
So
you were saying something like about 99% as hard or something?
yeah. So it's nine. It's on the Mohs scale, it is
Yeah.
9.5, whereas diamonds are 10 on the Mohs scale. So it's
Right.
hard.
Right, right,
So
right.
it survived me, so it's pretty hard.
Right, 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 right.
So
So
on
so
days
you can
that
wear it like that.
yeah, so when I
Just
don't
that's
want
cute.
to
Mm,
wear the pearls, then I can just wear
mm.
this as well.
Right.
And
But this is
yeah,
sold together though with the pearl.
no, everything's separate. So it's all modular,
Ah, oh,
and
I
you can buy
see.
small, you
Mm,
know, small chunks of it.
right.
And
You can
some
even
days,
build it. You
yes, yes,
build it.
yes,
You buy one first and da 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 da. Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
exactly. So you know, someone described it very nicely as, you know, kind of like the Lego of pearls. You
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
build it as you go along,
yeah.
and yeah. So if I feel like wearing it this way, then I can do that as well. And
Right.
the other time, someone was saying the great thing about this is that people get to play. Because
Yes,
the fun thing about jewelry is that you know when you the more you play with it, the more you find your own style.
I agree.
So yeah, and I've had so many amazing styles that our clients have come up with that I would never have imagined
Right,
just by
right.
a whole tray of different, you know, little accessories for them to
Yeah.
mix and match and play with.
Yeah, I think the last time I spoke to you, I was sharing you this story of how my mom loves to um, take apart jewelry. So she has her own jeweler, like trusted jeweler of like years and years and years and years. So what she does is that if she's bored of like a two earring, like a pair of earrings, she makes them into like a ring or something. So then sometimes
Yes,
I'd be like, that stone looks really familiar. So it's like, oh, it used to be the earrings. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. But I think it goes back to like your belief in how jewelry has his story, you know, or
yeah,
heritage,
no,
and I think that's what's so romantic about jewelries, I think. But
yeah.
you have a new collection coming up, right?
Yeah, so you were asking what's the other thing that we're doing differently with, you know,
Yeah,
us not being able to meet our clients. So
yeah.
for
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
first time, we're doing a preview, like a pre-order, and it's exclusive
Mm,
online. Then at the
yeah.
same time, we're doing videos so people can see how it's styled. And it was
Are
quite
you
shopping.
are you you're fronting the video though, right?
Yes! Yeah, so I have to learn to be, you know, like video savvy and all that. So yes, we all learn everything.
Right,
Every day
right.
is a
Well,
new
we all
new
do. We all
experience,
have.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the cool thing is this collection
Mm,
is about friendship. So it was quite timely
mm,
that we're talking about friendship because I was reading this interesting article that aside from your family, friends are probably the most important thing to keep you healthy because
yeah,
social connections keep you positive and
right.
ironically because with the pandemic we can't meet our friends, but it's
Yeah,
important to reach out to them socially. And I can tell you, I mean, this current situation, I have never been more grateful to my friends because
yeah,
people will reach out, say, "Hey, are you okay? How's it
yeah,
going?"
yeah,
Things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And they'll send like care packages and food and all these things.
yeah, yeah.
So this new collection, the Trillion collection, is dedicated to friends, and it's kind of like the new friendship jewelry because
Right.
they all stack, and it's kind of like friends. They work on its own, but
Nice. Oh, I love the malachite, right? Is that malachite?
yes,
Yeah, I love the
yes, that's
malachite.
malachite.
Yeah.
So we've got all the different gems. We've
Mm,
even got the blue lapis
mm,
lazuli, and we've also got the faceted topazes and amethyst. So that
mm.
way you can pick a gem that is relevant for a particular friend. And I kind of imagined, like three best friends each picking their own stone, and then they
Right.
have their group of their special story.
Yeah.
So even when we're doing Zoom calls, we can't be together, but we've got our special stack, right, of
Right,
best
right,
friends.
right. Like a ring buddy, like a ring
Yeah, yeah,
buddy.
ring buddy, ring
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But has this whole situation changed the way you produce the collection? Are they all made in Singapore, or do you need to like
No.
outsource somewhere?
Our craftsmen are based in Thailand. So
Right.
we have craftsmen that will custom cut the pieces, and then
Right.
we've got our goldsmiths that will set the gems and everything.
Mm.
So we, thankfully, with our partners and our
Yeah.
goldsmiths and our craftsmen, they are still able to continue working. So
Right.
unlike a lot of businesses, we don't have an issue with that.
Mm.
Obviously, we also are aware that it may delay
Yeah. And
thing, but
deliveries and everything.
delivery and everything. But I think because we work with a lot of our craftsmen on a very small, limited production
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
so
It's more
it's kind of,
controlled in a way.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
Oh, I see Sylvia there. Hi, Sylvia.
right. So yeah, I mean, since Sylvia is here, this is our second IG live in terms of talking about fashion and creatives. I think it's really important for Whole World Singapore to support local based entrepreneur, especially the ones that are headed by women. As
Exactly.
always with yeah, as always with Her World Singapore, we are proponent of like sharing stories and talking about struggles and everything. But are you positive? Do you have like a positive outlook in what's gonna come up in the future? Like
Well,
what's your take on all of that?
I mean, to be honest, I think as with all people, it's a bit of a roller coaster. There are like days that are
Mm,
highs and then there's the lows. Because I mean, as a business owner and with all this uncertainty, nobody knows. I mean, really, nobody has the answer.
yeah,
So, I mean, the only thing that you can do and the only thing that you can be is positive and to
yeah,
always look for the opportunities, look for,
mm,
where you have either an ability to learn, be curious,
yeah,
ask questions.
yeah,
And I mean, the thing that I have realized with this current situation is people are very willing to connect, and there are other entrepreneurs that are happy
yeah,
to do open calls with other business owners to
yeah.
share what they know and share what they're going through, share learnings. In fact, right now there are probably more WhatsApp group chats
I
with
agree.
with independent
So many. Yeah,
business owners, designers,
yeah,
and they're sharing so much information. I mean, it's so
yeah,
transparent. They literally
yeah,
give you any advice you want.
mm,
So
yeah,
I think that has really, really encouraged and made me very positive. And when I see people, so willing to share,
yeah,
and this kind of situation has brought it out in people, then that's also given me a lot of positive and a lot of hope. But at the
yeah,
same time, the reality is that I don't want to, paint this rosy picture. It
yeah,
is scary because this situation is historical. You
Yeah,
know, what
I
we're
agree.
going through right now is
Mm.
changing the face of business. It is, as some economists were saying, is as bad as, or if not worse than, what we went through or what our grandparents went through with the Great Depression.
Yeah, yeah,
The difference is, I mean, we're very fortunate in Singapore because we have so much support from the government, but also
I
we
agree.
are in society and we're connected. And
Yeah,
what's been proven is there's a very supportive community. So one thing I'm super, super appreciative of is, you know, are people who are supporting independent local designers,
yeah,
because it is so challenging and it will be a difficult road forward.
yeah.
But the more important thing is to find a good network or a good kampong of
Yes, yeah,
like-minded,
yeah,
positive
yeah.
people. They
Sharing
may be
ideas and yeah,
exactly, and
yeah.
whether you're
I agree.
running, yeah, whether you're running a business or you
Mm.
could, you know, be part of a company, but
Yeah.
just surround yourself with really positive people, learn and ask questions and
Mm.
share.
Yeah.
And it's okay to, one of my best friends, the best advice she said is, it's okay to not be okay. Because,
Yeah.
you know, people always ask, hey, how are you doing? And everybody
Yeah.
has to reply with this smiley face when actually you're like depressed at home because you're stuck in your room all the time or whatever it
Yeah.
is. You know, it's fine. You just let it out. Because I think
Yeah.
what I've realized is people want to help.
Yeah.
And
But no,
that's
no,
probably
continue, sorry.
what will keep us positive when we're able to give back. And I think that's
Mm.
also why there's such an outpouring of positivity. Oh,
Yeah.
Ellen, hi, thanks. I love the earrings too.
They're beautiful. But
Yes.
no, but just to kind of like zone in more into like your business. You're talking about um jewelry here, you know. You have like this theory about need and want jewelry. Can you share
Yeah.
with us a little bit more?
So I think one of the biggest things that I've seen out of this,
Mm.
there with the pandemic, what it's done is literally cut across all businesses in life. Anything that wasn't strong or wasn't relevant in the past is completely wiped out.
Mm.
Things that have a seed of potential or are relevant is what is flourishing right now.
Yeah.
So with us and what we do, I kind of grouped it in jewelry terms, want jewelry versus need jewelry.
Mm.
And want jewelry will be, okay, it's nice to have. I don't really need it, but you
Yeah.
know, I'm feeling good about myself, so I'm going to give myself a treat. Versus need jewelry, which is would be, you know, jewelry that you would either purchase to commemorate milestones. It's important, and it kind of brings jewelry back to what it was from,
Yes.
you know, the ages.
Yeah.
Because look at the history of jewelry. Jewelry used to mark very, very important milestones,
Yeah.
and then you would wear that milestone
Yeah.
with you. Then
Yeah.
that's something you carry through life, and it
Yeah.
becomes, you know, part of your trousseau.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And but because we've become so affluent that we
Yeah.
just buy whatever we want whenever we want.
Yeah.
So now I'm also finding that for one, people are trading up. So instead of buying a lot of pieces, they're
Yeah.
buying more precious pieces or pieces
Mm.
that are more meaningful to them.
Mm.
The other thing I've also noticed is more requests for heirloom revival. So recently, in fact, we had someone who had a piece of the great diamond pendant that you were talking about that she inherited
Yeah.
from her mother,
Yeah.
and she's it's very important to me
Yeah.
because it's from my mom used to wear it a lot, but it's
Yeah.
not my style, so I'll never wear it. Can you
Yeah.
take it apart and redesign it into something
Yeah.
that's relevant? So we redesigned it into a statement ring for her with her nickname that her mom
Oh,
used to
that's cool.
anak, anak,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
we kind of made it quite deconstructed, so you can't tell that it's a word. So it's a secret to her for her to
Right.
know.
Right. 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 So it's much more
Um,
modern and
yes,
than
yes,
before. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I would classify the way we tackle heirloom as turning them into modern heirlooms that are more
Yeah.
relevant. And the other thing that's really, really important is because a lot of the moms want to leave the jewelry for their children after,
Yeah.
you know, in the future.
Yeah.
And the traditional response has always been, oh, all this antique type, I'm not, you know, it's not my style.
Yeah.
So even with the way we design now, we design it so that it's either versatile or it would be contemporary enough, hopefully, that their daughters will want to steal their jewelry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are
When
reflective.
they're of age lah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And we even now for heirloom revivals, we are able to use the gold of the material, we melt it into the piece, so it's incorporated into, and that way the value of the gold also goes to the reducing the price of their piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a sustainability story,
Yeah,
there's a taking something that's precious to create something
mm,
that's meaningful and relevant as well.
yeah,
So I'm finding that those are the things that people are saying they're looking for.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's reuse, reduce, recycle, isn't it? But
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But we're down to the last minute of our IG live. So you want to share with everybody that what you have on the website right now, what to find over there? Because I heard there's like a flash sale going on at
Yes,
Carrie K. Yeah.
yes. So, okay, so there's two things. One is I would love for you guys to check out our Trillion collection, which is the Friendship collection. It is there are pieces that you can kind of stack, and if you like different colors, you can wear them together. You can wear them apart as well, so they're quite sweet. And then between you and your girlfriends, choose the gems that are reflect you. So for this is our first time doing pre-order. So anyone that does the pre-order before Best Friends Day, which I found out is on the 8th of June.
Oh, there you
Um,
go.
yeah, for two or more of you guys getting together, you get 10% off. And in addition to that, we also launched our sales section on our Carrie K web store. So do check it out. And every Monday, just for a bit of fun, we're testing, we're learning, right? We have a flash sale. So we've picked our best sellers and we're putting them on crazy sales. And
Right,
usually
right,
they're
right,
limited to 3 or 4 pieces. So it goes like
right.
really, really fast.
Wow,
But you
wow.
gotta like check it out. Check out our IG on Sunday because then we'll tell you what's on. It's like a little sneak peek, right? And then the
Right,
code comes out at 9 a.m. on Monday, and then 12, boom! That you can hear like people are buying at 12 o'clock on Monday,
right,
every
right, right,
Monday.
right.
So it's
Like
quite
mid,
fun.
you mean past midnight?
No, no, Monday
I remember
noon
I noon,
because
noon.
they're
Oh
working
my
from
God.
home now.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right. And no, there's a pearl bar situation. What's the pearl bar situation? You're doing a call out for anybody who wants to try the styling session or
Yeah.
something.
Yes, yes. Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people have told me is that they would love to learn more about gems. So we're introducing workshops that educate people about gems. So one of the ones that we've started with is the pearl bar. And most people have told me that they like pearls, but they don't know much about pearls.
Mm,
So we have created a 60-minute workshop where the first 15 minutes we talk you through the different types of pearls. We even slice a pearl in half so you can see what's on the inside.
no
And that,
way.
yeah, you can learn how to distinguish different types of pearls. What is quality.
Right.
So you can distinguish between. Well, nowadays the imitation pearls are so real looking.
Yes, 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 you're right.
And if you have the patience, we'll even teach you how to string and knot the pearls. So you go through all that, and then you do a whole styling session with our pearl stylist, and you get to
Right.
play. So I think the thing that people love the most is playing with the pearls,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's something that we do is a private workshop. So you can invite 3 or 4 friends. We will close the atelier. So in fact, now that with everything that's happening with COVID, when we do reopen, the store will be only for private appointments. So you will have
Right.
undivided attention, but also a
Yeah,
safe, a much more
yeah.
immersive experience. So with the pearl bar, that's the first thing we're starting with. I've had lots of requests to do a gem workshop, so we'll be launching that next. And the thing that we're going to trial out is to do the workshops via video call. So
Right. So that's
we'll
the one that you want to try.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be talking about a lot of questions, and also we'll send material out so that you can be looking at things while we're
Yeah.
teaching about gems as well.
Right, right, right. Sounds interesting.
Okay, so
So
any guinea
yeah.
pigs, just DM me.
Sign up, sign up, sign
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
Carrie K Rock. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing
It
all
was
this
so
with us.
fun.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is fun. This is fun. We should do more of this actually.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'll see you guys again next
Hey,
Tuesday.
Damien.
Bye.
Bye.